I've been in HR for nearly 30 years, and I suppose you could say I didn't choose it, it probably chose me.
So I've been in HR for 6 years, which is mad. That's absolutely flown by. I came into it straight after uni and haven't looked back. I think I got into HR because I love processes, I'm quite interested in writing policies, and also I love problem solving. So that team with being able to help employees reach their career goals, it just seemed like a winner for me.
I worked in HR for 2 years and I decided to work in HR because I genuinely care about employees, and I want to bridge the gap between organisational needs and employees.
I've been working in HR for about 5 years. I chose to work in HR because I wanted to be able to work in any industry. And I also like the fact that there's this process of continuous development. So every day, every week, every month, every year I spend in this role, I experience new things and I get better at my job because of it. If I didn't work in HR, in some dream scenario, I'd be some sort of professional sports person. But I think realistically I'd be working in education somewhere.
If I didn't work in HR, probably I would be in hospitality, whether that be a pub, a restaurant, a hotel. I loved working in bistros and restaurants throughout uni and college, and I think I would absolutely still love to do it. The hours were just quite, they're quite antisocial, but the actual vibe and the social side of it was excellent.
Well, I love travelling. I love all things theatre related. I used to perform and I love music, so I wasn't in HR. I think I'd like to be either working on a cruise ship, either on stage or doing something arty and theatrical somewhere else.
If I didn't work in HR, there's a couple of options. Potentially I would work in marketing. I would maybe be a personal trainer, or I would get a PADI dive ticket and live somewhere like Thailand, and my job would just be taking people on scuba diving tours. The worst thing about working in HR is being told that when you walk into a room, people are scared of you, because that is the absolute opposite reaction I want to get when I walk into a room.
The worst thing about being in HR is people expecting you to be like the police, with rules and regulations and tutting and serious and not able to have any fun. Not the truth.
I think the worst thing about being in HR still, even 6 years in, is the fact that employees will say, oh look, HR's here, looks like someone's getting fired, or they just think we're there to do the doom and gloom, whereas in reality we're so much more than that. We're there to protect the company, the employees, help people reach their goals, and make sure the culture of the business is strong for all.
The worst thing about working in HR is the perception that other people have of the profession. There's a lot in pop culture about what we do, and that makes people think they understand the full extent of the role, when actually it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Guilty pleasures, Kylie, McFly. So my absolute ultimate would be a Kylie and McFly duet.
Guilty pleasure has to be One Direction. Listening to One Direction still, even though they've been broken up for 10 years or so. I was a massive fan in my teen era, and every now and again I will just put it on loud, sing it from the top of my lungs, whether that's at home or in the car.
My guilty pleasure, I like a box of Crunchy Nuts clusters, the chocolate ones, and I also like the 4-pack of M&S cookies that they do. And in terms of non-food items as well, I do like to listen to a bit of TalkSport when I need to switch off.
My guilty pleasure is reality TV, shows like Love Island, Love is Blind, The Ultimatum, Love on the Spectrum, just to name a few. But I actually don't feel guilty about it at all. I enjoy it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
The weirdest situation I've been in as a HR professional was having someone lie directly to my face in spite of the evidence presented to them. So as part of an investigation hearing, I showed someone some footage of them doing something that they shouldn't have been doing. And this is 4K, caught them red-handed, and they've turned around and told me it wasn't them. And then you have to take a second, double check your eyes are working, and then come back to them and say, no, this is definitely you.
Weirdest situation I've ever been in, probably two employees fighting over a pencil case. It was a whole thing. One of them raised a grievance, claiming that someone had stolen it from their desk. I had to watch CCTV and all sorts. It was just one of those ones where I tried not to giggle, and obviously took it really seriously, but it was just crazy that they'd gone down a formal process for that.
Oh, the weirdest situation. A case of which one, really. But I would have to say, for cringeability and awkwardness, it was having to deal with a couple who weren't a couple, who were up to no good in an office on CCTV, and both denying it, and having to go through the CCTV footage with them watching. Very, very awkward and very strange.
Once I had someone want to raise an official complaint because people were using the milk that was meant for tea on, like they were putting it in their cereal, and someone complained that it wasn't Breakfast Club, it was work.